Therapy Army. Let's be having you, Therapy Army. Let's be having you. Let's be having you. Welcome to United Real Therapy. Welcome to the Real Raw Red Pod Transfer Edition, but also Statement Edition. So loads of Statement FC. Manchester United are signing players as much as they're putting out statements. So we're going to get into that. We're going to go behind what's going on with the Erik ten Hag comments, statements, and also the Dan Ashworth comment. But we'll come to that. We'll talk about Sancho offer, apparently, personal terms agreed, if you believe that, quotation marks, and then the Delit offer. Manchester United still in the hunt for another centre-half. Big up to everybody. I know YouTube's been acting funny, but I've been shadow banned as well anyway, so it is what it is, man. Big up Khalis Ramadine Lasicivir at United Therapy. But yeah, big up to everybody. Tom hopefully will join us. If not, then it's not a problem. We can do the show. Musa might be joining us. If not, then it'll be like me and you people. It'll just be me and you. Me and you. Take it back to the 90s R&B settings. Man United West Ham exploring a deal for Masraoui. Wow. First concrete talk took place. Masraoui is at the top of the list for both clubs. He's keen to play in the Premier League. Interesting. 26-year-old Man FC buying out. Originally, they demanded 30 million. However, the market does not support that amount. Now buying and pushing 20-25 million realistic prices. Okay. That's breaking news. But United had a link with everybody, innit? You know what I mean? Nothing has changed. Whether Inos are in or it's Ashworth and Murta, Manchester United are linked with everybody and their nan. But big up. Let's get to this. Anthony set to Anthony's agent on the exit rumours. Anthony's planning to stay at Man UFC. Nothing else is planned. We've had a discussion with the club about it. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Not yet. Not yet. Please hold them back a bit. Please hold them back. Leny Yoro, Angel Gomez, he told me that Manchester United is the biggest club in the world. Yeah, big up to Angel Gomez. Big up Clive as well. Big up to everybody in the chat, man. Leny Yoro, I spoke with the manager. He wants players who really want to win. When he puts me on the pitch, I'm ready to die for this club. Okay. Yeah, big up Conrad. Long time no see. I hope you're well. Dan Ashworth, it's my job together with Jason Wilkes to create the right support and structures and environment around Erik, the staff, the players, to make that possible. Okay. Big up, man. Big up to everybody. Big up. Anthony is planning to stay because no one wants him. Let's not be harsh. Jadon Sancho is indeed on a PSG list. It all depends on what Man United want to do and ask. Well, that's all we can do yet. But big up Khalis Ramadine. Khalis, I'll give you the go ahead. But let's bet in. But how are we doing, people? Yeah, man. Big up. Appreciate you. Yeah, I can see it on Twitter now. I'm just opening Twitter. Big up to you. Yeah, big up, man. Appreciate you always. We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. How are we all doing? How are we feeling? It's gloomy day in Manchester. Cloudy. It's a bit humid, but it's cloudy, man. Cloudy, horrible day in Manchester. No sunshine, man. It's like we're in autumn already, honestly. It feels like October already, but with a bit of humidity. That's what it feels like. But I hope you're having a good day wherever you are in this world, people. Wherever you are in the world. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into that, but we already had a couple of things about now the latest player that we're linked with. Join the list of how many players that are linked with Manchester United. Masraoui. Masraoui. Big up to him. What a player he is. Brilliant player. But he's a right back. So, yeah. Yeah, Conrad, I'm telling you. Yeah, man. Lila Salam. There he is. International man of mystery. There he is, people. Hey, he's there. He's here. He's everywhere. 00 Tom international man of mystery. Where are you, Tom? Let's be having you.
Big up.
Be having you.
Big up, how we doing?
How you doing, Tom? Whereabouts are you in the world?
Sheffield.
Hey, it's back in the 7 Hills. Is it sunny over there?
It has been warm today, to be fair.
Was it sunny
Picking
though?
up. Yeah, it's been sunny, yeah.
Oh my God, Manchester's cloudy, bro. I'm telling you, it looks like a dark autumn day, bro. From morning till now, no sun, nothing peaking, not seeing a spit of a sun. And yesterday was just pure humid, so a bit of humidity, but that's where we're at, Tom. But Tom, we've got a big show, man, big show to get through. We've got lots of things to get through, lots of good things. I think we might as well start with a. I don't know if you've been seeing it. We've been, you know what? We have been handing out statements as many players as we signed, bro. I'm telling you. Lately, we're dashing out the statements in the same time we're signing players. You know what I mean? And just to update you, the latest player that we're linked with is Masraoui from Bayern Munich.
Oh, fucking hell.
I keep thinking how many players that we linked with. We were linked with Rios from Colombia. He's a brilliant player, but the way he played for Colombia, I'll have to watch him play for Palmeiras, where he plays for Palmeiras. But for Colombia, he played kind of right-sided number 8, up and down the pitch. Manchester United need a ball getter. And also there's a link with Fofana as well. Yusuf Fofana from Monaco.
Yeah,
apparently he was on his way to AC Milan, but Manchester United might be hijacking that. Big up Mina. I know Mina's a big fan of him. But yeah, his stats, if it's just the stats, his stats look way better than Agate. On stats, he's amazing on the stats. So, but it is what it is. But Agate is more tackling and interceptions. He's amazing at.
Yeah.
After watching Mount Rashford in one game, Sancho should be going nowhere, especially since Garnacho is worse than all. Carty, big up Carty. Carty coming with saying that get Sancho. But listen, Sancho, what will happen with Sancho. But big up to you people. YouTube is acting really funny, Tom. So can you hear me clearly, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear clearly. Listen, can people hear Tom properly? Let us know in the chat. Tom, the merry-go-round of Manchester United stories is where it is. But let's hit this one right in. For the first time, we've heard a proper statement from a director of football, pal. I never saw I never saw Dan what's his name? Murta putting out a proper statement on plan what he wants to do. You know what I mean?
Well, he wasn't a director of football, was he? We're a football director. That's what they'd turn around and say to you. You couldn't even get the title right. Never mind, get the person right.
Let's do it. Let's get it up in full, so everybody can see it. Because this is interesting for me. I'm like, okay, we'll hold you to these words, innit? To me, with all these statements, people have to take it with a big pinch of salt. Because statements, anybody can make statements. But it's about the action. You know what I mean? The actual action of what you do. That matters. You know what I mean? But let's get into it, Tom. Let's share it. Hey. Bye now, hey. They're trying to hit me with a shirt already, Tom. You see that? No, thanks. Till the Glazers are there, I ain't buying no shirt, people. Till the Glazers are there, I ain't buying a jack shirt. But people, can we see this clearly? Give me the thumbs up if you can see this clearly. Let's do this together as a community, people. Let's do it together.
Yeah, I think they can see it,
Yeah. So anyway, there it is. It says Ashworth's first message to the United fans. Hey, first message. Tom, it's the first message. He's dashing it out like it is bread. You know what I mean? The first message.
Dashi Dan, or Dishi Dan?
Dashi Dan, mate. Dashing it about. He's having it. Anyway, he says, director, let's do word for word, mate. Ashworth's first message to United supporters, right? It says, Sporting Director Dan Ashworth has written a column for the 2024-25 Manchester United yearbook, addressing fans for the first time and outlining his exacting vision for the club. Well, listen, all of that would be nothing if you get rid of Erik and bring me bloody Southgate. All your vision, we're gonna collapse in on you, mate. You'll have no vision, mate. You won't be able to see I guarantee you that. So let's not talk about visions out here. He says, here you can read Ashworth notes in full. He says here, this is one of the most, he says, let me just get it. This is one of my first opportunities to address the Manchester United fans since joining the club as a sporting director on July the 1st. So I want to start by saying how delighted I am to be here. Hey, Tommy's delighted to be here. Delighted, hey, delighted.
Yeah, I've heard them words before.
Exactly. We've heard it all before, fella. He said, he goes, what's this? He goes, although I grew up in Norfolk, hey, sunny bloody Norfolk, man, we're having it. Sunny Norfolk. I've always had a strong attachment with Manchester because my mum and dad were born in Middleton. Hey, he's pulled out the card, Tom. He's pulled out the money card. Certified, yeah, certified. Let me get a card 1 second, mate. Let me get a card. Let me get something here. Man identification here, blank. You know what I mean? Middleton, blank, but hey, he's pulled it out. If you go around, mate, you get asked. You get asked if you go around people. Are we here, people? Are we here? Are we all watching? We're having it. Let's go. Let's get through this. But it's already getting a bit funny, isn't it, Tom?
Aye.
Let's get the next bit. He says, I'll start again. He goes, although I grew up in Norfolk, I've always had a strong attachment with Manchester United because of my mum and dad. Were born in Middleton, and my grandparents lived their whole lives there. Okay, wow. So it's a Middleton heritage from Middleton. When I visited as a boy, my dad would take me to get to games across Greater Manchester. I remember the thrill on my first visit to Old Trafford in the late 70s, watching the likes of Lou Macari, Jimmy Nicholl, Arthur Alberston. I can't claim to have been a partisan United fan. My dad enjoyed watching all local teams. That means they were probably a City fan. So, you know what? They come out and go, yeah, you're watching all teams, probably a City fan. You know, I mean, that's what we say around here. He says, but remember that, I remember the special bus that will always seem to surround games at Old Trafford. And it's something I have experienced many times since during my career in football. So it's going to be an incredibly proud moment entering the director's box on the home side for the first time when the Premier League season gets underway against Fulham on August the 16th. The closed season's always reset moment for every club, but the sense of renewal has been particularly strong at Manchester United this summer, and as our new leadership structure takes shape. Omar Barada has started as the chief executive, Jason Wilcox as a technical director, and I can assure you all that we have lost no time in getting to work. Our first big decision of the summer was to extend Erik ten Hag's contract as men's first team manager to June 26, 2026, reflecting on our strong belief in him as one of Europe's top coaches and the partner we want to continue working with in getting the team back to the levels expected. Well, you lied, pal. Bit of phone in there. You've only given him an extension. Where's the 3-year contract, fella? Where's the 3-year contract? Where's the 3-year contract if you believed in your man, eh? Bit of fib there, Tom, eh? Hey? Little bit of fib there, eh? We are clear, he says, we are all clear that last season fell below the required standard in the Premier League and Champions League. But by winning the FA Cup in such an impressive fashion, our players' staff showed what they're capable of when everyone pulls together to perform to their potential. Pulling together, eh? Pulling together, FC, is that what we are? Hey, it's a bit crazy. It says here, our collective challenge is to reach those levels much more consistently. It's my job, together with Jason, to create the right support structure environment around Erik, staff, players, to make that possible. Already, I can feel a strong sense of energy, determination around the group. And as the players' staff return fresh from their breaks, including some exciting new additions to the squad and the coaching team, There are also changes to the physical environment at Carrington, commence on our season-long 50 million development training ground, evidence of our commitment for providing the club's infrastructure. This will require some adaptation this season, but all our teams, men's, women's academy, will maintain access to high-quality facilities with promise of fully refurbished, world-class site once the project is completed. Delivering successful women's team and thriving productive academy, both key to the objectives of my job. Well, you failed already, mate. You kicked them out, mate. You've already failed at that one. You've kicked them out and put the men's in there already. And there's talks that they could use St. George's. So, bit of a fibs there. Okay? I have a strong background in both these areas. Women's football was an important part of my remit, past roles with Newcastle United and Brighton Albion. And the FA, it will be the same at Manchester United. Women's football is arguably the most exciting area of growth of global game, and we want to be part of that. Well, time will tell me. Last season, FA Cup win was a fantastic landmark of the first of our major women's trophy, and now we want to build on that with Mark, his staff, players. Youth development has also been a huge part of my career, and I see a crucial element of success for any football club, especially Manchester United, where homegrown players have such a rich history. The success of our United under 18, 23-24 campaign bodes well for the next generation of men, talent coming through. All the same time true of the women's side, with both under 21s, under 16 finishing the season with trophies. Overall, my first impression of the scale of opportunity available to us as Manchester United as we review and refresh areas of the club. This remains one of the biggest football clubs in the world, but it's not our measure of success. The focus is getting us back to being among the best on the pitch. It won't happen overnight, but together with Omar and a new leadership team, we will not rest until we have achieved it. So big fighting talk there. A couple of fibs here and there, Tom, but big fighting talk. Tom, your first reaction?
Well, we've got Dodgy Dave, we've got Dodgy Omar, and now we've got Dodgy Dan. It's the triple D. No, I'm only laughing. I'm only listening. To be fair, it's come out fighting. I will say that. Me personally, it's just off of preference. I would rather you sit there in an interview and I can actually see how you're putting your points across through body language, as opposed to typing it up and posting it on the club website. I think the difference now is you actually have a consultation. You do have a point of contact at the club. Before Richard Arnold, he never really made much of a statement. Omar Barada made a statement as soon as he came in. Dan Ashworth's done the same thing. Wilcox has done, I think Wilcox, did he not do an interview, or I think he did a conference with a couple of reporters. It weren't like a publicised one or anything, but I think they did it just as tabloids.
Behind closed doors, yeah.
Behind closed doors, yeah. It weren't like a press conference like you have with a manager, but I think they just put questions to him and then he almost answered it, kind of like an interview scenario. Look, these people that we're bringing in, at the end of the day, they all have the same mindset, and that is they are football people. So when you've got that many people who have the same mindset, surely it's only going to process towards getting a better result at the end of it. The difference with us is the short-term sort of fixes that they're making. They have made improvements to say we are going to improve the facilities. Okay, but I want all teams to be inclusive of that, not just the men's and youth team or whatever. I want women's teams to be inclusive in that as well. But at the end of the day, the one thing that I would quote in saying that is Omar and his leadership team. So Dan Ashworth, I don't think has as much as an influence in this football club as people are going to make out. Because I think the final decision maker on everything is going to be Omar. If it makes football sense, okay, Dan Ashworth's my best point of contact to speak to about it. If it makes good football sense, Does it make good financial sense? Well, I'm the financial director at United pretty much. Do I think it makes good sense to sign a player or improve facilities? Right, yeah, we can do it if the budget constrains it. The difference is you have people who are qualified to be in the roles that they're in. That's the difference that I'm going to say. But in terms of the short-term fixes that they've made so far, I like the targeting profile of age that we're going for in the transfer market. I like it. I like the way that we're going in terms of moving forward and trying to actually progress morale or the environment, because it does need to improve. We've seen players do this, turn up at pre-season like the League of Fire, and then they get to game one and then it suddenly goes out the window like we saw last season. But I just want to see some stability to the club. And listen, just give us some correspondence. When the financial turnover comes every year, I want an interview or I want a message from Omar. I want to hear what what's the year been like for Man United? What's the forecast? What do we stand to gain? What have we done? Dan Ashworth, I want to hear a statement every so often about, even if it's just signing a new player, or I don't care, you win a trophy or something. Show some recognition to a manager. I want to see some of these things. And listen, you can look at it from PR or whatever you want to look at it from. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have the difference is, I would rather have Dan Ashworth, Omar Barada, Wilcox and Vivell and all these people run our football club than what we had 2 years ago when you had John Murtow and fucking Richard Arnold sweating like pigs in Barcelona in black suits, and they spent 3 months pissing around to get Frankie de Jong and they couldn't get him. I just want competent people, and that's what I feel like we have right now. Competent and qualified people. But the one quote that me and Dino always use in this show anyway, guys, is actions will always speak louder than the words. They've acted fair enough on 2 signings. I like the Yoro one more to the point because I think he's a top player to the future. But also It shows and it puts a statement that Man United will compete with the big clubs in the world for players. And we're not frightened if City are in for a player or Real Madrid are in for a player. We're not frightened. But I don't want us to be frightened. We're frightened on the football pitch. I want to see that change in the season. I now know that we're serious in the transfer market because we're not being paid for mugs, Dino. You know this anyway. We'd have signed Bramthwaite on fucking August 31st if it meant it. And then we'd still pay 70 million to go and get him. Right. But the difference is now we'll walk away from deals and we'll go somewhere else. And that's what I've wanted. I just want competent people. But yeah, he's come out fighting. I think he has to probably word it in the way that he has done and everything. But look, if he's right well and he's motivated and he's got an element of control, I'll back the guy. But when I see some results, that's when you'll get some praise, Dan Ashworth. And if I don't see much results, because if you do another stinker like what happened at Newcastle with Tonali, mate, it's unforgivable. Newcastle fans might forgive you. Man United, you won't be forgiven for anything like that. I tell you now, you will not be forgiven.
Yeah, big up. You got a nickname from Christopher there. It says Mr. Kipling. This is the best one, Tom. Before you even got here, somebody said this.
Go on.
I loved it. This is Aziz says, journalist Tom, the man with no faith. I'm like, it's a national man of mystery, mate. This is all it is. But big up. Now, 100% Tom, I agree. Listen, at the end of the day, all action. But big up Lilas. Lilas was telling me about how Jim's talking more than giving interviews, more than Beyonce.
I thought you were going to say he's done another interview, man. Fucking hell.
Nah, he's been doing so many interviews. But hey, well, we've got the best. This is the band, people. Dodgy Dave, Sentimental Dan, and the Quarter Sexuals, mate. I want to see that live on stage, mate. I want to see them. I want to see that band. I want that on a t-shirt.
Do you know what's funny though? Right? If we get to a major final or something, that's just going to be probably the lineup. When you have your director's box, you're just going to have a fucking full lineup of them. So we can easily just get a picture, or you can graphic whatever you want to do it. It'll just be a picture up there. So then you'll have the full fucking domino effect. But the difference is now, before, Dino, what I was saying is, I can name maybe 4 or 5 people in this club that are serious. They're qualified. They've done it at other clubs. But the difference is, I don't give a fuck what you've done at another club. You've got to do it at this club. That's the difference. Dan Ashworth, like I said, I just used the Tonali thing as an example. You can get away with doing something like that at Brighton, at the FA, at Newcastle, at Man United. It's unforgivable. It is unforgivable. You have to do everything. You have to do your due diligence on players properly. But the difference that I like in saying that, Dino, is Omar is the final decider in all of this. It's Omar's team, and Dan Ashworth works underneath him. It's not Dan Ashworth who's running the show and running all the shenanigans. That's the one thing that I like. And it almost, the way that he worded it in that statement, it's kind of like him and Wilcox, pretty much on the same level as what we had before. But the difference is now, all of the different departments, Dino, we're actually improving it. We've improved the structure. We're improving the squad. We're improving the facilities. Dino, mate, I'm seeing training clips more than fucking 10 minutes now. Not that 3-minute shit with no music on. Like, even the media department's improving. But this is what we want from this club. And at the end of the day, even like with how we've signed this Leny Yoro kid, apparently we got Rio on some fucking debate anyway, and he'd spoken to the kid and convinced him to come and like use your tools as a club. Listen, Real Madrid, they could have done the exact same thing, didn't they? They could have got Zidane on the phone. Listen, talk to this French kid for us, please. Convince him to come to Real Madrid. Say that he should wait a year and he'll come and join the best club in the world. They could have done that, Dino, but they didn't. This is what I'm talking about. There's ways and means that you can move in the market, and it doesn't mean that you have to pay 5 or 10 million more in the market so you get the player. You've just got to work around it and do some convincing. What is it? A phone call to Rio? Phone call Rio Ferdinand. Right, listen, here's Leny Yoro's number. Here's his agent. Contact him. Speak to him for us. Work around it. And at the end of the day, I want I want fan involvement within this club. Clearly, what they set out from when they had those fan forum meetings, where they said that they were going to improve the facilities. They are going to build a new structure. They are going to improve the environment. It's a work in progress, but they're working towards a better result than what we had 2 years ago. Listen, even as much as people want to say that, the kits this year are so much fucking better. I know United don't have much of a say in that because of Adidas, but people will buy those shirts now because the designs are so much better. They even pushed it to you when you only clicked on the website, fella. You didn't even get to the statement, and they already want you to buy.
That's it.
This is what I mean. Marketing. We're making money. Dodgy Omar. See what I mean? He knows his trades.
He knows. Big up Stephen Kramer, man. We're not seeing him for a long time, obviously.
Oh, big up Stephen.
To work and life commitments, man. So big up Stephen Kramer. Says, good evening, Rudy. Long time no see on the channel, love always. Why were you playing that scummy Rangers? Is it that Jim the Rat move? Yeah, it is Jim the Rat move. To me, the bigger club is Celtic. It would have been lovely to play Celtic. Up that fucking Celtic. Up that Celtic, man. But yeah, I'm not asked about Rangers, me. Never been asked about them. But we smashed them for you anyway. We managed them. 2-0. 2-0, mate. A goal in each half. Yeah, managed them anyway. Big up to everybody, man. Love and light. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think now that we can say at least we can put you'll see whatever happens with United this season. You'll either see Wilcox's name trending, Dodgy Omar's name trending, Dodgy Dave's.
Listen, City is still under investigation. He might get removed.
Dan's trending. You know what I mean? You'll see, and Jim, all them trending. Inos will be trending. The United fan base will trend them on Twitter anyway. You know what I mean? You'll see it, man. You'll see it. I just hope that they don't have any social media because the fans will be at them with no time at all. But big up, Celtic are playing Chelsea, so that tells you all you need to know about my team leaders.
Team leaders.
Big up everybody. Listen, big up Sheikh Harry Rashid. We got Sheikh here. Big up everyone. Sorry I'm late. Just woke up from the nap. Watched your last stream before yesterday. Big up, man. Big up to you. Big up to Sheikh Harry. Listen, let's get on with it. Right? Khalees, when you're ready, please. I wanna get, since we are on the statement thing, let's get to the statements, innit? So we've just looked at a Dan Ashworth. He was lying a little bit there. Give us a bit of sentimentality. Middleton lad and all that. But Erik Ten Hag, I don't know if you saw this over the weekend. Erik Ten Hag is giving it some. So we're gonna break down what he's really saying and what he's not saying. So somebody that's very United real to the people. Well, let's get into it. We're here. Erik Ten Hag. We've seen Ahmed in a different way. His armband changed. Is there somebody interpreting? His armband had some sort of change. Has he gone through some change, Tom?
He's got Rude next to him, mate. A proper striker, mate.
Of course, he's still young, but he's not an experience. He was never an experience, mate. You got that into your head. So this tells me he thought he's a young, little, unexperienced guy. He's got more experience than a lot of the players that you were playing last season.
He had more experience than Højlund.
Like Foyson and Højlund and these guys. What are you on about? So I'm in a different way. Of course, he's still young, but he's not inexperienced anymore. Last season, he had bad times, both injuries. Yeah, but he still didn't blame. You see, he misses out. And he was in a championship, and he had a great season. Yeah, he did. But you know what? For 6 months, he sat on the bench doing nothing. So give it a rest, eh? Erik Ten Hag, at the end of the season, I had a very good time in our first team, and he played some good games. Now, this season, this has to be his year. Well, I hope it's every player's year, and not just his year, mate. But it's great that he starts like this. Okay. Well, let's see. Anyway, let's see. Big up to everybody. Erik Ten Hag, Joe Hugel is different. This is a young player who has a much more today on the pitch. I have to say they were both mixed teams and enjoyable to watch. I'm very pleased, of course, with this performance from some of our youngsters. So that was a little bit of the preview of the Rangers game. Tom, did you watch any of the Rangers game? Did you see any of it?
Yeah,
okay.
I did, yeah.
I didn't watch it. I watched highlights. Yeah, I thought the second half, we would try to play a bit more progressive, but it's Rangers, you know what I mean? Let's not get overexcited with it. It was Rangers. I despise these guys. He should have played a lot more last season along with Sancho over Garnacho and Højlund. Carty's telling it. Erik Ten Hag, it's very good that we're also there in the front foot of the transfer window. We are very proactive. That's his word that he liked. So the leadership is doing a great job at this moment. And that is, I think, how we want to act as Man UFC. Okay. Correct. Yeah. So Erik Ten Hag on Leny Yoro, first match, one practice, very mature performance. That's what we saw when we observed him. Okay. Observation FC now, Tom. We're observing people now, yeah. Erik Ten Hag is a great to have him. He's a very young central defender, very talented. He's here. We think he can play, but there's so many other games who will be in the group of 4 to 5 defenders. Okay. Deep down, he's like, yeah, mate, you're playing. You're playing, mate. We've not just spent
at the moment, it is. Yeah, unless we sign another.
Well, Erik Ten Hag, an interesting commentary.
This broke his heart, this one. This one broke his heart.
Instead of Scott McTominay, we have very good players, so they will always have interest. But if you score 10 goals this season and perform very well for Scotland, there will be an interest, and we will actually want to keep him. Okay. Every player that is linked from a move from Manchester United, most managers are going to say that. That's how you get the price to stay wherever they are. Yeah. So, yeah. Big up Conrad says, Liverpool and Arsenal are the real test. Yeah, exactly. This is no test. Yeah. Yeah, it was strange. Euro starting. The guy is just come 3 days ago. Yeah. But to be fair, Sheikh Arian and the rest of the chat, he's probably been doing pre-season with Lille anyway. He's been training with Lille and keeping himself fit. And he was supposed to be going to the Olympics, you know, so he pulled them out. So they pulled him out of the Olympics
in
team,
Paris,
so. Yeah. So Sheikh Harriet, I thought you would like it. Yeah. Larry Yoro on joining maps, and this is the dream from when I was young. I was very happy. Listen, just give it a rest, lad. We want you to be here, lad. We want you to do great, but your dream was to join Real Madrid. You were the guest of honor in the Champions League final, mate. For me to play was everything. The fans they are impressive, crazy. Yeah, we are crazy. Yeah. That's one good. At least you told the truth about that. To me, he's definitely going to play. I genuinely do think he's coming to sit on no bench. I really think that. And I think that Delit is going to be, if you sign Delit, he's injury prone, so he will be what he is, yeah. But Leny Yoro, the football today, you need to read the ball, understand the opponent, and comfortable with the ball, and I'm not afraid to play. All right, he's backing himself, eh? We like that. He says Leny Yoro, his favourite player so far. I really like to play against Kylian Mbappe. Okay. He's
quite mature, to be fair, from what I see anyway.
Yeah, he said, I spoke with the manager. He wants players who really want to win, and they put on a I'm ready to die for the club. Well, strong words, mate. Actions speak louder than words. I'm really close to Kobe Menu, and this will help me. He sent a message, and he's a really good guy. Wow. So they're already, Agent Kobe. Agent Kobe's been on it, eh? To be fair, they must have I've been through award ceremonies and stuff like that. You know what I mean? People talking about them because they're all FIFA boys, innit? They were in a 10, 18-year-olds or 19-year-olds. You know what I mean? Teenagers.
They have them award gatherings, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, you hear of players and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you won yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, Lenny says I was a striker before, not the same. I was really fast, and so I scored a lot of goals. A lot of people compare me to Nani when I was young, and I love this player.
Yeah, sentiment, mate.
Sentiment FC, mate. It's drenched. It's all coming from the top, mate. Jim sweating out Manchester United blood. You know what I mean? It's infectious, man. It's more infectious than the coronavirus.
Bayern Man U fan, yeah?
You know what I mean? That's sentiment, eh? Leny Yoro says, I know this is the best league in the world, and Old Trafford is the best stadium in the world. Hey, the PR, they've done a great job on him, haven't they? He goes, this is the biggest club in the world for me. It's a dream to play for this club. All right, pal. So all of that, you being at Real Madrid, was that all a bit of a mess? Lenny continues to say, Leny Yoro, the Varane comparison for me compared to Varane is an honour. Leny Yoro says, when I saw him win the FA Cup, I really wanted to be there to celebrate with the fans.
Maybe you turned up on the wrong day, do you know? He meant to go to the FA Cup final. They were both at Wembley, mate. Turned up on the wrong week.
Yo! I'm telling you, they got to him, mate. They got to him. I really wanted to be. Yo, this is a show we should call this podcast the Quote Podcast. Let's continue. The preseason, he says here, look, I want to repeat what he said here. He says here, when I saw them win the FA Cup, I really wanted to be there to celebrate with the fans. Wow. You know what I mean? He's come a bit early, isn't he? He went to the wrong final, Tom.
I told you he went to the wrong final, mate. Turned up on the wrong week.
Tom, you should have helped him. You speak a bit of a fast head. You should have helped him, lad. Pre-season is really important to me to adapt to the group and create some links. Yeah, that's really important. Yeah, Leny Yoro, I'm really happy to play with this team. Really excited to see the fans at Old Trafford. Yeah. Well, we're happy to see you too, lad. We're happy to see you. But less of the Giacchinotti, eh? But you know what I mean? Less of the Giacchinotti stories. Look, but less of the sentiments, more action. That's what we want. Leny Yoro on Gomez. He's not lying here. He told me Man United is the biggest club in the world. Big up to Gomez, man. Angel Gomez doing bits. He's been told these sound bites. Yeah. Every player, when they come a professional footballer, they all get into it, don't they? They all get into it. They all get fed that same. Yeah, they have to practice forever because he would be saying exactly the same thing about Real Madrid. You know what I mean? He'd be saying exactly the same thing. You know what I mean? Big up Lenny. You know, and Lenny knows the sentiment FC Nurin. Yeah, that's what we are, mate. Big up Angel Gomez as well. But Tom, how's your reaction to that Leny Yoro business? Talk to me.
Well, I've actually watched it as the interview rather than just read the quotes as well. Do you know something, Dino? For 18 years old, he's very mature. That's the one thing that I will say. A lot of kids, if they come to Man United when they're 18, they think, "Oh, I'm absolutely gassed. I'm buzzing to be at Manchester United," and he doesn't seem like that. The one thing that I think I like more so about the kid is I like the temperament that he's got. Of that, I want to join a club where a manager, the directors above him, and the other players, their ambition is that we all want to win, but we want to win a certain way. We don't want to win just by any means necessary. Almost win by any means necessary, but win in the right way of doing it. And like I say, he's spoken very comparable about some players. For example, Kobe Mino. Kobe Mino, he had that comment where he got described as being like Seedorf in an interview, and he said, who would you describe yourself as being in football? And he said, Kobe. That's who I am. And those sort of maturity temperaments for two of those kids there that I've just mentioned, one that we've signed and one that we've brought through the ranks, for both of them to have that sort of connection, and clearly they've clicked together already, and they've not even played a game of football yet. He clicked with Xerxes, Kobe. He even asked him after the Holland semi-final game, "Are you coming?" and this, that, the other. Maturity in football. I like the sort of players that we're signing based upon what they're going to bring on the football pitch, but temperament-wise, I also think it's good because you need players who are. I don't want a PR kid, Dino. I don't want some kid from Brazil who's 16 years old who's hyped up to this wonder kid like Hendrick, and then you had Neymar like 20 years ago. I don't want that kid. I want a kid who's grounded, mature, who none of this, I'm going to be the next Desailly or Zidane. I don't want that PR around the kid. I just want somebody, he's a top player, he's at a young age, he's gone for a decent chunk of money for his age. But at the end of the day, the more weight to what it's going to come to us is, he's a top player at where he's at and at the stage of his career that he's at right now, which is 18 years old. But can Man United develop him in the right way and give him the tools around him to work in the right way? The only way you're ever going to do that is if you give him the right characters around him, Dino. In front of him, I like the character he's got in Kobe Mino because clearly they're on the same wavelength. I like what Onana said about him in the interview. He's a ball-playing centre-back. He's good with his feet. He knows where to run and where the spaces are to move in and out so he can receive the ball. He's not afraid to receive the ball under pressure. I want that from players. Martinez is the exact same. But the difference is, Dino, I want players who want to come and play for this club. I've said this for years. I want players who want to be at this club. Not this shit about, I'll sign for Man United, big paycheck, it's a great opportunity, I couldn't refuse. No, I want to come here and I want to be on a journey. That's what I want players to say. That's the wordings of how you need to have it.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, what we've always said, me and you have agreed on, is we want to sign players on that first contract, tie him down for 5 years on like a low income wage. Yeah, he's gone from 5,000, 10,000 euros, Dino, at Lille, to 115k at Man United. Fair enough. It's a massive step up. You've got to do some things to convince these kids, otherwise they're not going to come. Money's going to be a factor in some cases because of his agent. His agent's George Mendes, who's a super agent in football. So you're going to have to pay top dollar to get him to come to you anyway. But the difference is, everything around this signing just seems so positive. But at the end of the day, this positivity will blow up like a like a balloon, if you get to the first game of the season, Dino, and he's not got the support network around him. He's an 18-year-old kid. You can't throw him out there and expect him to stick like glue. I've said this before. If it's not working for him in a certain game, Dino, or he's getting bullied or he's not getting to grips with the team, I want to have someone like Deligt who's experienced, who knows the game, who reads the game well, come off of the bench and fill that void in for that game. That's what I want. But we have to sign another centre-back to guarantee that, because the players that we have here right now, I don't want Maguire coming off the bench. No. I don't want Lindelof coming off the bench. Even if Kwambala was here, Dino, he's basically the same as Yoro, but maybe 2 years less developed. That's all that I'm saying. I just want somebody who's got that more mature experience at the high level. This kid's got the talent to go to the high level, but talent is nothing unless you can develop it. And we, as a club for the last 10 years, haven't
killed
developed
talent.
anything.
We've
We've
murdered
killed
it.
it. We've burned
actually,
it, mate.
we've
We've put it on the spit roast.
Are you kidding me? We've destroyed careers. Big up, Tom. Chef, that's a yellow card. He says, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yoro looks similar with Saeed with that mustache. If it's not his son. That's a yellow card. Yellow card. Erik Ten Hag says his former interim boss. Erik Ten Hag says the former interim boss, Rafa, was absolutely right about Manchester United needing an open heart surgery. Oh, was he? Was he now? That's interesting, isn't it, Tom? That's interesting, eh? Murta. It's interesting that Murta's gone and Murta and Arnold are gone, and now you can say those things, though, innit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You come out and say those things, innit? But yeah, Khalees, if you've got any other quotes that he made about the summer and stuff, please put them on here because I would like to go through them. But yeah, of course, Ralph Ranieri was the only truth teller. Casey Stone. Stoney. That's her name. She told the truth and she got the hell out of here. Ralph Ranieri also told the truth and got the hell out of here. So yeah, we've had two managers. The women's team manager, the way the women's team was treated, she told the truth, Casey Stoney, and she got the hell out of here. Ralph Ranieri told the truth and got the hell out of here. So yeah, there's truth tellers. Truth telling is important, people. Yeah. But big up. We've had here we go. When we talk about Sentiment FC, he says that here we've had an Argentinian lad at Celtic that says it's his boyhood dream to play for Celtic.
Oh man.
But yeah, you don't know though. You don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know. I'm sure there was some Scots that took football, or Welsh and Scots, and that took football to Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. Big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Big up. I would love to get Gaia United. Yeah, I like Gaia. I'm not going to lie to you. I like Gaia. Anyway, to my entire therapy army, greetings to you all. It's been ages since I tuned in, and that was this one club done with me. Well, this effing club. I don't even like football no more, but shout to you still. Listen, come on the mix. We missed you, King. Where have you been, brother? I hope the kids are well. First of all, I hope you're healthy. I hope the family's healthy. I hope all is well, brother. We're sending love. Football is just a little bit, just to de-stress. But obviously, Manchester United was stressing me and you, everybody out. But lots of love to you, brother. I'm glad you're still here. And yeah, it'll be lots of love. Lots of love to you, man. Manchester United do that to play. They don't just do that to play. They ruin fans as well.
Yeah.
Destroy fans. Well, that's all we've done in the last 12 years. Destroy fan base, players, coaches, everything, mate. Erik Ten Hag and Jadon Sancho, we spoke well. Everyone can make mistakes. We draw a line and move on. The club needs good players. And one thing is saying is a very good player. There you go. I like that. Erik Ten Hag on Delit. I wanted to sign him 2 years ago, but at the same time, he was already in a very far along to join Bayern Munich. But believe it or not, his name did not come from me in this process. He's feeling the heat there, isn't it? You know what I mean? He's like, oh, it did not come from me. You know what I mean? In the process, he says here, Erik Ten Hag. Erik Ten Hag on nationality of signings. I understand why you do not win. The media maligns you and there is bad image, but the nationality is irrelevant. Where he is from in the Netherlands. Okay. Sweden, France, it's just like the color of the hair a player has. It does not matter what the outside world thinks. Yeah? Big up, Windy. Hope you're well, Queen. Big up. So that's interesting, isn't it? That he said that. I think Inos had that name. For me, the injury-prone thing is a bit worried. The knee is a bit of a worry with Delit for me. I'm not going to lie. That's why I'm not fully excited 100%. Because I'm traumatized, Manchester United signing injury-prone players. And the same thing I'm hearing about Masraoui. You know what I mean? Masraoui is a bit of an injury-prone guy as well. Yeah.
I don't know. The only thing that I think would concern me more. So I don't necessarily think it's the players, Dino, because you can sort fitness issues and problems out with the right program for players.
But not at Manchester
I've seen
United.
them
We've
done.
been killing
Not at Man
players here,
United.
Tom.
No, yeah. Not at Man United. Not at the old Man United. But this is going to be new. All these facilities, all these glitz and glamour, it's going to sort everything out. It's going to be like a rosemary garden. We're going to be fine. That's how they're painting it anyway. But if this is going to be how it's going to be, the difference is I want to have any player that we target, Dino, I just want them to be that cut-off point. That cut-off point in price where we don't break it, regardless of if it's a player that the manager really wants, we really want. If it doesn't make financial sense, don't do the deal. That's all that I just want from this club. Because at the end of the day, we've just said there about players like Delit, for example. Delit's going to set you back maybe £50 million, euros, whatever, right? You could pay probably another 10 million and get a less injury-prone player who's just had a brilliant Euros in Mark Gay from Crystal Palace for 60 million or 65 million. You could go and get one of those players. But the difference is, I just want us to focus solely on characters, talent, and if it makes financial sense. And if all three of those things align, Dino, sign the players. Leny Yoro fits all three of those things that I've just said. Xerxes fits all three of those things that I just said. If Delit's a player that they believe that they can get the best out of, put it this way, Dino, if you sign Delit for let's say 40 million euros, pounds, whatever, and he plays like he did at Ajax and he doesn't have them injury concerns or anything, we will all sit here and say, well done, Manchester United. You made a good decision. You made a good deal for once. That's what we'll all sit here and say in 12 months' time. But the difference is, if we don't get the player, based upon it doesn't fit the value, I'm not so bothered because we've saved money, Dino. We've saved money and we've averted a risk. But all I want is just us to be more practical with how we actually do business. And if Bayern Munich aren't going to bow down to it and actually give in almost, Dino, because we're targeting clubs, right? Man United are so smart, being so smart at the moment, right? We are targeting clubs that are fucked. Bayern Munich can't sign any more players, Dino, until they sell some. So they can haggle and haggle for delay till the end of the window if they wanted to, and Bayern are going to have to budge at some point, and they're going to have to flip. Everton have just lost their big payout to get bought out. They need money. Yeah, they've just sold Onana £50 million. But I'm sorry, when you're in debt by 400 million, you're trying to build a stadium with no cement or no bricks and mortar. I think times are going to be tough, Dino. And 50 million is not going to scratch the surface. It's not. So, same thing with Everton. They need money, Dino. They're desperate. You're targeting Everton, who's desperate. Bayern are desperate. Lille, every summer, when they have a top talent come through their ranks, Dino, they always sell out. So these players that we're targeting, Ugarte, PSG, what do they need, Dino, when they sign Neves? They need money coming back in, bro. So at the end of the day, we're targeting clubs who are in financial difficulty, pretty much in the same position we're in, but we just need to make the smart decisions. And if it makes financial sense, Dino, and the player fits what we want for that position, sign them. Same thing if we sell Wan-Bissaka, Dino. Go out there and sign it. You're already hearing them. Vanderson from Monaco and Frimpong and Mazraoui. Yeah. We're hearing these lists, Dino. We didn't even know Man United had lists. We only had one player every summer that we signed, mate. One player. One super player. Once it was Sancho. The other year it was Ronaldo.
Maguire.
The other year it was going to be De Jong. Then it was Casemiro. Maguire was the highlight of one of them. This is what
Di Maria.
Di Maria, Falcao. This is what I'm saying. Zlatan. The list goes on, bro.
Pogba.
But we've got four. We're targeting 3 or 4 players who have the potential to be that superstar player.
But we're also
do that.
The only thing that what I say is just the pivoting. So the idea Ugarte, PSG try to play tough with Ugarte. Suamendi, you know what I mean? We're pivoting. We're linked with Suamendi at Real Sociedad. We're linked now today with Fofana, and I want to get his stats up in a minute to go. But yeah, Manchester United, big up Kalisa. Manchester United want to close Chido Obi Martin deal, pushing to get it sealed as soon as possible. Understand Chido will make his final decision in the next couple of hours. visiting several clubs in the UK and Germany, and is considered imminent. Yeah, I think he has to make his option. This kid is a wonder kid from Arsenal. I don't know why Arsenal are letting him go, but yeah, it's interesting.
I don't think they want to, Dino, to be fair. I think they've offered him contracts and that, but he just doesn't. It's not fitting what he wants or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
man.
The thing that I love though, Dino, out of all of it, right? Do you know the one thing? You're not having Man United convince these players to come. The Euro thing, okay, we can maybe make an example for. Bramthwaite, he would jump in a heartbeat to go from Everton to United.
Yeah.
Ugarte is a top stabilised club, Dino, in PSG, where they're going to win. They're going to win the French league pretty much every year or the year after, aren't they?
Yeah.
These players are jumping these contracts and shit, Dino. Delit's on so much money at Bayern Munich, but he's prepared to dump it all to come here for some reason. He's prepared to dump his money to come here. Right. I like the way that a lot of these players, Dino, it's showing the right intentions of they want to come to United for the right reasons. But if we sign these players and it's not going to break the bank to do it with a fee or the wages, Dino, in 3 or 4 years' time, if they don't work out, you can ship them off. But do you know something, Dino? We're selling young players for more than fucking £1 million now.
Yeah.
Bro, we're so Koulibaly, mate. Listen, he's had, what was it? I don't even think he made 10 senior appearances, did it? Was it like 4 or 5? I think he had 4 or 5 starts last season. You got 10 million for him. Yeah. You know, so it's a start. It is a start. And yet I know City get players who don't even have a first team cap and they sell them for 30 million.
Chelsea are the best sellers in the Premier League.
Listen, Abramovich era, they sold so many of them young players through Europe's ranks, and they got so much money back in that squad. But the difference is, if we can spot that we can get a good market value for a young player in our academy, like what you just saw at the weekend, Dino, with Hugo, for example, a club like Brighton might look at him and think, if it's a young profile model that we want, we'll pay 15 million, we'll pay 20 million. Sell him, man. You're stacked already for the next 10 years with Xerxes and Højlund if they work out to be the players that they're supposed to be. You're stacked. You can't do anything if you're Joe Hugo. You're not going to break into this team. It's a damning thing that you've got to say, but the repercussions of it, Dino, is I want players who have sat here comfortable for the last 10 years and have done fuck all. I just want them to be ruthless with them and just ship them out. I'm sorry, I do. Jimmy, our owner of this football club, or partial owner, 25%, quarter sexual, made a joke about one of our starting left back who was supposed to be the future of this football club, Dino, in Luke Shaw. He made a joke before the Euro, say, don't pull a hamstring. Not good luck, Luke. Don't pull a hamstring, mate. And this is what you have right now. But it's that sort of movement now with Shaw that I say for this, Dino. If you've been here 2 or 3 years and you've not shown me anything, you don't deserve to stay. You don't deserve to see your contract out. That's it. And I'll say the same thing with this Leny Yoro kid, Dino. You've got 2 or 3 years, kid. I'll give you a couple of years to develop. But if I don't see something when you start hitting 23, 24, and you actually start developing properly, or I can actually see you moulding into this team in some way, you're going to go off the books, fella. You're going to have to. Because there's better players. Talent will always emerge in Europe. It will. And wider markets will always emerge. But the difference is, if you have players like Shaw, now, I don't care if you take a loss on them. Get the fucking hell out of this club, mate. You've been here 10 years and you've won jack all. You've contributed to fuck all. You've had 2 good years in 10 years. It's shite. It's shocking. Rashford, I tell you what, Mike, Marcus Rashford is very lucky he's a Man United academy player. Very lucky. Because if he's not, and if he was in the same boat as Shaw, and he was bought from another academy or another club, Dino, I'd be sitting here and I'd be absolutely lambasting him. You've had 2 good seasons, again, in 11 years at this club? 2 good years where you've broke, 15, 20 goals in a season. 2 good years. He's how old now, Dino? 27? And people still phrase him as a young player. You're not a young player, Marcus.
I think he just turned 26, innit? He just turned 20. 20 or 25, 25, 26, yeah.
But we need to start seeing what we've invested in for so long. That's what I'm saying.
100%. Big up Khalid Paris. PSG have reached out to Jadon Sancho's age and to finding out that I can never say that Kivashili Karabashvili was impossible to do, nothing advanced, but he's one of the names they're considering. Yeah, so none of this about he agreed personal terms and all that was BS.
No. I don't.
Yeah. He's not agreed no personal terms. He's just on their list. Like we've got loads of lists. He's just one of the players on their list. I think Napoli wanted a lot. Question for the panel: if Shaw goes, who's gonna want him? Also, how much are we cashing from him? It's interesting. Listen, I'll pay him to leave him, to let him go. Say, yeah, lad. On the way out, go and have a bit of that. Ta-da. I'll be like, hey, Luke, have a bite of that. See you later, lad. You know what I mean? I'll be giving him a bite. Have a bite. Ta-da.
But yeah, if we did end up selling him, Dino, the way that English players work, especially in the Premier League, there's one club out of the whole 19 that will take them, Dino. There is always that one club. Maguire last summer, he had Everton sat there for him. West Ham was sitting there. Forest was there. But no, even West Ham, to the credit, Dino, they agreed everything. Man United just refused to sell him when they had got a couple of injuries on the tour. And then they needed players because they was that short of players. The difference is right now, they said coming into this summer they were going to sign a left back. I don't understand why we can't just target a player. Target a player, you know. It doesn't have to be a first team player. Target a squad player who's kind of like what we've done with Yoro right now. Who's the best young left back out there? Who's 19, maybe 20 years old? Who's the best one out there? Somebody name it in the comments to me. That's all that I want. And best left back who's like 19, 20 years old. Kind of like what we've done with Euro right now, like a project player. Who's the best one?
I don't know how old Guterres is, who plays for Girona, but he's not that old. He must be in his early 20s.
Well, there you go. And this is what I'm talking about, Dino. That's one player you can put on the list. There's probably a kid from South America. There's a kid from America or Australia, wherever, Japan. There's these kids that you'll find all over the world, right? But the difference is they're going to come into your squad. They're not going to take loads of wages, do you know? They might not even take the first team spot. But I'd rather have a player who we can at least develop for maybe 2 or 3 years. With a lot of these other players, do you know, that are going to have to be developed, they're not going to come in and be superstars. If people are thinking Euro's going to come in here and play like Rolls Royce Varane at the back, he's not. He's going to make mistakes. Yeah. He's going to give the ball away. He's going to.
Yeah, it's about learning. It's about learning.
It's about learning. Yeah. But I'd rather have players who are going to learn. I'd rather have players who are going to learn at the same pace and the same time because they're on the journey together. Do you know? That's what I want. Luke Shaw, mate, his career's out. He's done. He's 28. He's coming 29 years old. The only way that you could ever save that guy's career, and if honestly, if I was Erik Ten Hag, I'd hound it into him. The only way you'll ever save your career, Luke, is if you become a centre back, because he won't be able to contend being a left back. Do you know? With his fitness issues, and mate, he won't bomb up and down anymore, mate.
Well, no. For me, if you're gonna keep him playing as a centre half,
well, there
the
you
left
go.
back domino has not started yet. Man UFC can now work out something for that places later on. Yeah, we know that. Apparently, I think there's players we've agreed, but it's about getting the funds in it. We need to sell before we can buy. Where have I heard that before? But yeah, big up. So Guterres is 22, and my guy's saying here, big up Carty saying all available left backs are 24 or under. There's options, and most don't go for. The most they go for is 35 or so. Yeah, big up. Yeah, big up. But Fofana, let's have a look at Wesley Fofana. Let's look at Agate compared to Yusuf Fofana, not Wesley Fofana. Bloody hell. Where am I going? That's a one for the old.
That's
books,
Chelsea, though, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's screen share. Let's screen share here, people. Let's have a look at Agate. So Agate here, Ugarte. One of the two things that really impressive for me is tackles and interceptions. Completed passes is quite good. But yeah, these two really stand out for me. Those are the things that really, really stand out. In terms of the type of player he is, in terms of the stats. Obviously, he's not a goal scorer really, so you're not really looking at. For me, I'm looking at the pass completion, successful take-ons. Yeah, you have to be able to get yourself out of trouble. The higher the successful take-ons is that how press resistant you are. Progressive passes is not really. He gives it to the better players. He's more of a ball winner. Tackles here, it's there. They're the most impressive. You know what I mean? They're the most impressive. Right? Compare him to Yusuf. Go back. Let me just go back here. Yusuf Fofana. Let's see what comes up here. Maybe I'm spelling his name wrong. Is it For? I thought it was Fofana. Fofa. I think that's how his name is spelled, but no, it's not having it. I'll get it up in a minute. Just give me 2 seconds. But Tom, Ugarte, good player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Very good player. Oh yeah, it's spelled different. Everybody's just what I'm saying. These brothers, man, the French, the way they spell people's names are different. It's Yusuf, not Yusuf. That's how it is, man. Let me just get back in there.
But again, though, do you know the fit the age profile that I was just talking about as well? That like 20, between say 20 and 25, or maybe a bit younger than 20. They fit that sort of profile of what we want in.
Yeah.
But like I say, with these players at the end of the day, do you know, they're coming from a league which we've already defined is very similar to how this league is right now, with speed, intensity. But it's about if you can develop over. That's my issue. And like I say, with Ugarte, he's played in Portugal, he's played in France. So he's played in France now. He's played in the league, which is similar in terms of intensity and Premier League, yeah. But the quality isn't there, and that's what my concern was with Yoro. Was the quality that he plays from week in, week out in France is different to the Premier League. That was my concerns of it. The difference with players like Ugarte, do you know? You already know as soon as he puts it, he makes a 50-yard run and he sticks a tackle on somebody at Old Trafford, he's gonna become a fan favourite. We know this. But at the end of the day, Ugarte, I think, is only 22, 23, is he? He's still young. So who knows? You could put him in the right spaces. You might be able to coach him to play the ball forward. We don't know these things. Maybe a coach hasn't tried that with him because he's not supposed to be that player. The difference is with Fofana, like you've got the stats up here now, he's a player who his better attributes is the opposite of Ugarte. So the only thing you'd say he has to maybe work on is being able to dictate the game, read play a bit better and track play as well, and then tackle them. That's all that you need with a guy. That can be coached. Both ways it can be coached.
The only thing is that, for me, the reason why I worry about Yusuf Fofana, is that player of his age, usually they would move the level of talent because people would want them, But actually, his goal scoring is quite really good. Apparently, he scores a lot of headers. He's quite dangerous in the opposition box. And he's always getting shots off as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's fascinating. It's fascinating, Shots creating action, so, you know what I mean? So he's actually more of a playmaker, progressive passes, you know what I mean? Progressive ball carries, successful take on. So it looks like he's comfortable on the ball. But that's in that league, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's in
different
that
environment.
league.
Different
you know
environment.
What I mean? Interceptions is quite good. That means, to me, interception, when you got high interception rate, for me, it tells me you're good at reading the game. You know what I mean? Because you'll be able to anticipate things. But tackles is not really that much. Tackles is not it's not as good as Ugarte. Ugarte is a monster at interceptions and tackles. But the only things that are finer is that, and I've always said, unless he's one of these rare players who just didn't have the right agent, were not marketed in the same way. But it's I just find it really, really, really fascinating in terms of like in terms of what kind of player he is. But he's not left France and he's 25 years old, and I'm just like, What is it? What is it about him? Is there something that maybe people are not getting? But he was supposed to be on his way to AC Milan. So could Manchester United hijack again? Another player from AC Milan? You know what I mean? You'll be that hijack FC. Big up. Since becoming a starter on the early 5 seasons, Rashford has scored a total of 82 goals. He's 16th on the all-time goal scoring list for United. To be fair, that's a lot of goals. In 5 years, that's 5 years. That's a lot of goals from a winger.
Yeah, but the concerns,
and he's had injuries as well.
The concerns with it. The concerns with it though, Dino, is it's not consistent enough. That's the problem.
Listen.
One year he'll score 5 goals, the next he'll score 30.
But to be fair,
I'd rather him score, Dino. Apart from that, where he scores 5 one year and 30 the next, score an average of 20 every year. 5 years, there's 100 goals, Dino. I want an average. That's where it makes it better.
But the thing about it, Tom, is that Manchester United, where they're changing club constantly, a stable club, a club that's in chaos, is very difficult, to be fair. It's very difficult. I really thought genuinely.
Well, there's no excuses now, man.
Listen, 3 players should have gone. Rashford should have gone when Jose came. Martial should have gone at the same time, and Pogba should have gone. Because they were not Jose type of players. And then Oli did what Oli did, where he played him through injury. And the thing about Rashford is that he played with broken bones in his back. And, he's came out and said after that Europa League final, I couldn't even put my boot on. People had to have me to put the boot on. So at the end of the day, when I look at him, I think, some of him going out missing and all this in bloody, ringing in sick when he's in bloody Belfast, and that is ridiculous, yeah? But actually, has it been? To me, that's what I'm saying to you now, Tom. There is zero excuse now.
That's what I'm saying. There's no excuses this season.
For the coach, the coaches, for the players, for the medical team, there's no excuses anymore. None of them can go, no.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, there's no excuses. The facilities are there, so you can avoid injury. You can avoid, reinstigating something, or you can rehabilitate your problems. Listen, if Rashford's got these problems still about his back or his shoulder or whatever, because I know he had shoulder surgery after the Euros, because we all sat here and said, why has he even gone to the Euros when he needs that surgery? And he ended up having it afterwards, after he played the final and everything. But the difference that we're saying with Rashford, guys, is my point was he's been here long enough. I want to see some results now. And this nostalgia that people still protect him with, is that he's a young player. He's not a young player. He's mid-20s. He is mid-20s. If you walk down the street and somebody says they're 26, are you going to say that you're a young guy anymore? No, they're a grown-ass man. They're a grown-ass man. He makes life decisions. He lives on his own. This is what I'm talking about, guys. He is a grown-ass man. He's not this kid anymore. So let's not protect him.
You know the idea of him and McTominay and that being... No.
They're not kids anymore, man. They're not.
Listen,
if you want to talk about
Gary
kids...
Neville, Gary Neville comes out and says, Scott, it's only... I'm like, he's 28 soon. It's similar age to Martial. It's similar age to Scott McTominay.
This is what I'm talking about, though.
Luke Shaw,
Luke
Shaw, I'm like, nah, mate. Luke Shaw's not young either. It's not young either.
When you pass 25 at this club, Dino, I'm sorry, you've got to have at least started to show something. Consistency for a couple of years. I know some players take longer to develop, Dino. I can understand that. But we aren't an amateur club anymore. We said this in the past.
We played like one last season, Tom.
We played like one last season. Listen. We're not an amateur club. We're a club of pedigree and standards. And if you don't fall into those pedigree and standards, you don't come here, or you don't sign here first and foremost anyway. If you don't fit those pedigree and standards, or if you are here and you haven't fulfilled that in your time that you've been here, you go out of the door. I'm not going to sit here and hold hands with players for years and years, Dino. Listen, Martinez, as much as we can say it, Dino, we can have this conversation in 8 years' time. If he has maybe only 2 good years out of 8, we don't know. We can't predict the future. But at the end of the day, Dino, what I've seen in the moments from some players that we've signed have been brilliant. Other players, like Anthony, for example, I've seen nothing. I've seen absolutely nothing for 2 years. But this protection that people give them, these players in the media, and it's more so the English players in the squad, right? Maguire, you've been here, 4 or 5 years there now? He's done nothing. He's done nothing credible or notable. He had maybe a good 5 or 6 games last year. That's probably what I would say about Maguire. And he had a decent first 6 months when he were at the club until he got the captaincy and it cursed him. And it's killed his career off. The same thing that I'd say with Shordina. After that injury, he's not been the same player, mate. He's not. And listen, football's a hard cutthroat business, mate. If you're at Man City and you have that sort of an injury and you're not 50 and you're not going to go in flying into challenges 100 mile an hour for Guardiola, he gets rid of you. He gets rid of you. I've seen it happen at high level football before.
I understand the first 3 to 4 years, yeah. Give him time to recover, but 10 years is taking the piss.
10 years is taking the piss, mate. It's delayed.
It's taking the piss. For me, that's what I'm saying to you. The same energy that people had from Martial. Where's that energy for sure? They don't in the fan base.
Where's it for Rashford on the other side? They don't come for these players. I'm sick and tired of it.
To be fair, Rashford last season was getting some, but Luke Shaw never gets anything other than me when I'm telling him in the stadium. Big up JB says, if you want Manu to excel, I'm sorry, Bruno might have to go on the bench. He doesn't compliment Kobe. It's like Manu has to adjust for Bruno when it should be building around Manu. Nobody wants to have that uncomfortable conversation anyway. For me, he should replace him, me personally. Tom, I want to talk to you about one player specifically. Nobody in the fan base is talking about him. And I want to give my 2 pence. He's come on the first 2 games. I watched a bit of the highlights. I've not watched it. I'm going to watch the game, the Arsenal game. And we're playing in it. We play in the US. Let me just get on my thing. Let me just double check who we're playing.
I think we played Betis.
I've got earlier. Kalisa sent this to me before, so I should have it here. I should have it here, and it's clear. There we go. Let's just get this up for everybody to be able to see. Let's get this up for everybody. This is where we're at. It's the schedule we're on at the moment, people. Schedule FC. There we go. There we go. So there we are. So pre-season game, we already gone through. Pre-season tour, that starts 27th.
5 days.
Yeah, Community Shield. But oh damn, I thought I had the things that we play. But yeah, we played Arsenal in America. Who else are we playing in America? And then Liverpool.
I think we played Real Betis.
Real Betis, yeah, that's it. Real Betis.
Betis, Arsenal.
So Arsenal, Liverpool.
Yeah, I think Liverpool's in the game.
Yeah. We're playing Liverpool as well. But
and apparently
it's only 10 days. But big up to Ben. He's giving me some super chats, man. Big up to Ben. Let me just get these super chats as well. I forgot about them. Let me get this. Let me get this chat here. Big up says Tom was secretly behind getting Yoro with the secret agent service. 00 Tom sorting them. Madrid comes out. Tom's next mission is to sort out the medical department.
Dr. Death.
Big up, Ben. Big ups to both you kings. Free Palestine. Any plans for the summer for calling shows? Would love to come on sometime. Would take Bafana from Monaco. Big up. Would you take? Yeah, I think yeah. Big up to you, bro. Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna do one definitely if people want to come on. It might be a late one, but yeah, around 10:30. Yeah, we'll do a phone-in show, Ben. Definitely. Are you on Twitter? Follow me on Twitter and tag me in a tweet, and I'll follow you back, and then I'll send you the link as well. You can come on here anytime. You don't have to wait for the callings. But big up to you. Appreciate the super chats, bro.
Big up.
So the player in question I want to talk about is Mason Mount. He's come on. Obviously, He's played a couple of the games. He's another guy who is Betis and Liverpool. Big up to chat. He's the guy who's been given a number 7 shirt. We didn't see him at all last season. Everybody's talking about flipping Malacia. We saw Malacia more than we saw fucking Mason Mount. You know what I mean? But the same energy's not there. I don't know what's going on, Tom, but the energy, you know what I mean? Malacia is getting a lot of heat. But then Mason Mount's been missed in action. So it's interesting, isn't it? I'm like, where's he going to play? And we know that Erik Ten Hag going past the past 2 seasons, he's not a guy that rotates. So Where is he? What position does he fit in the team? Mason Mount. I put it out to the top.
Yeah. If I base it off of what I saw, right, I've not seen him enough in the United shirt enough, because I've not seen him play 10 games consistently to say where I think he fits best. But if I had to make a judgment based upon his time at Chelsea, I would probably say he's a number 10 who can play out wide. That's what I would say. But based upon what I've seen him be successful as, it would probably be that 10 position. But the problem, like we say, you have Captain Magnifico in Fernandes, who's going to be protected, and who will always be the number 10 so long as he's at this club, no matter what. And you can't play him out wide.
Why is that, Tom? Why we shouldn't have that?
Because
we should
he's
let
the
them fight it
superstar,
out.
Do you know? He's the
superstar of what? Of hoopball.
Listen, as much as people want to say, Dina,
Tom,
three coaches. Let me say this: 3 coaches have come into this club when they've worked with him. All 3 of them wanted to make him captain. Ole made Maguire captain, but that was before Bruno came in. But Bruno, we could all see on the field, was more of the leadership captain than what Maguire was. We all could see that, right? Ragnick come through the door. He wasn't here long enough to make that change permanent to play Fernandes as the captain, so they had to stick with Maguire. Ten Hag came in the door. He wasn't given the authority to change the captaincy because they said it would upset Harry. It would upset Harry and the decision making behind the club. But he never played half the season anyway. And who did he give the captaincy to? Fernandes. The club put it this way, Dino. If Man United sold out the whole squad tomorrow, the 3 players that I would say you'd get top money for tomorrow would probably say Rashford, because you can get decent money for him. You'd probably say Fernandes. And if you want to squeeze Cobby in there or whatever for a potential for the future, you can maybe squeeze him in. There's three players there that we're talking about, right? Fernandes fits in that model already. The difference is, Dino, I understand what people say about him. He can play passes in this team that other players can't. But my issue is he's not consistent with his accuracy of those passes. You can play the ball forward. That's fine. I've not got an issue with that, right? But my issue is when we want to keep the ball, Dino, like what City do, for example, with De Bruyne. De Bruyne can keep the ball. He can keep possession if he needs to keep possession, or he can play that looping ball. He can play the long ball, but he can find somebody with the long ball. He doesn't just play it for the sake of it and he runs into touch. The difference is with Fernandes, he can't keep the ball at his feet. He's not very well run and drilled under pressure, and he's not a possession type player, Dino. He's not. There's some players, right, and this is a Portuguese football thing that I'm going to give people a bit of an education on here. Midfielders from Portugal, Dino, and a lot of people will agree with me on this anyway. When you're cultured in the Portuguese way of football, you're either blessed with the ball at your feet and keeping the ball, or you're not. There's some players, Dino, when they have the ball at their feet, agree with me or not, players that you see nowadays, like you have Vitinha, ball at his feet, they know you'd say he's a top player, would you know? With the ball at his feet.
Oh,
yeah, Bernardo Silva, there's another one that I'm just giving you there. But then you put Fernandes in that team. You saw Portugal at the Euros, did it? They couldn't string passes together, mate. He's supposed to be the glue to all of them. They couldn't string passes together. But then they brought on João Neves, or they bring on Vitinha or whatever, do you know? They're playing the ball around like Pep Guardiola's City or Barcelona teams. This is what I'm talking about. So, for the long-term gain of this squad, maybe you cash in on the guy. I don't know. The difference that I'm saying with Fernandes is this. With this new coaching setup, if it doesn't work now, it's never going to work. It's never going to work under a new manager. And as much as I've said it, Dino, like we say with players like Rashford, Shaw, Fernandes has had his time at this club, mate. He's had enough time at this football club. And I had one highlight season when he first came in here for that 6 months. Dino, that's the one period that a lot of people always stand out as his best period at this club. The rest of it, it's a little bit topsy-turvy. He's a bit hit and miss. But with Mount, Dino, the only thing that I'll give Mount is I'll give him his opportunity to shine in this team, but I believe anyway that the people above him, like Wilcox and stuff, are going to speak directly to Ten Hag and say, we've bought a squad. We've not bought a starting 11 for you. We've bought a squad. Yoro might be a first-team player. It might not be. Xerxes is coming in to probably be a squad player or rotate with Højlund. So they've bought players from Dino who are going to rotate in this team. Mount will almost be like a new signing. We can play as a new midfielder to rotate because he didn't have that last summer.
Well,
You're not buying these players to sit on the bench. That's all that I'm going to say.
In terms of rotation, the only way to keep players happy, by the way, most likely we're going to play 17 games if we're going to go to the final in the Europa League.
Oh,
we're in a group of 8. It's all changed now. Champions League's changed as well.
So
you're in a group of 8, and it's just like you playing a team. We playing one team away, the other team at home. No more like playing each other home and away. None of that. So it's going to be very interesting. But big up, this is a bit of development. Big up Khalees, Chief Editor United Real Therapy. Make sure you check him out at Khalees Ramadine Lassie on Twitter, people, at Khalees Ramadine Lassie. Mason Mount expects to stay at Manchester and beyond the summer and fight to earn his role at Erik Ten Hag's Strong's team. The staff within United who believe Mount had a false start last season due to injury and believe this is an opportunity for him to show what he signed. Okay, well, that's interesting. And in terms of knowing the gates, big up Windy. She says here, July 31st, Manchester United faces Real Betis at the Snapdragon Stadium, and Saturday, the 3rd of August, faces Liverpool. There you go. You've got it there, people. But yeah, for me, it's about Erik Ten Hag doing 360 and having to replace what he did. He has to do 360 from what he was doing last season, where he's playing players who did that in the season before. And there are plenty of games for players. Manchester United are already kind of like went out to play maybe 65 games this season. So there's plenty of games, people. Plenty of games. To me, if you made over 25 starts for Manchester United, that's good. You know what I mean? That's good. That means good. You know what I mean? It's going to be a total bench thing. So definitely, people. Listen, for those of you watching this later, let us know what you think about Sentiment FC's statement from Dan Ashworth, statement from Leny Yoro, Dodgy Dave. What was that he called it? Khalees called it. Big up Khalees, by the way, with all the chats. Khalees says here he gave it them. This band, if you want to see this band live, let me know in the comments. Dodgy Dave, Sentimental Dan and the Quarter Sexuals. If you want to see that band, let us know. But big up to Tom. Tom, let people know. Are you going on? Are you on tonight? Are you on with?
Yeah, I'm with Jarvis. Yeah.
You're on with Jarvis. Yeah. Make sure you check out Tom and Jarvis at Jarvis Corner, Man UFC VLS TV tonight. Yeah. And make sure you check that out properly, people. So make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, let me know in the comments about the Sentiment FC. What do you think about Dan Ashworth's statement? What do you think of Erik Ten Hag talking about now that no Murta and there's no Dan Ashworth? Talking about, oh yeah, Ranić was right, by the way. What do you think him saying that? Let us know about the players. Mason Mount, what kind of season are you expecting him? Sancho, would you want him to stay? Do you want him to go? Let me know as well in the chat about that. And Delit, do you really want Delit to come this season? Or are you still a bit worried about him? And you think Manchester United should move for a left-sided centre-half like it's Asensio, a sport in Lisbon? Is that what we want to do? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat, people. And everything else we talked about, I want to know what you guys think. Big up to the chat. Love and light to everybody. As we stand here, we say, big up the ICJ for telling the truth about Israeli occupation and the brutalization of the Palestinians and how the Palestinians are getting genocided as we speak right now. So free Palestine, free the Congo, free Sudan, free the Ogaden region, free Tigray. Free everywhere, anybody's feeling oppressed. Free the people, free the land, people. And F you if you are here to oppress anybody, whether it's inside this country or around the world. Famous quote says, if you are silent when the oppression is taking place, I mean, I'm butchering it, but then that to me means that you are on the side of the oppressor. You know what I mean? There we go. We keep it 100%. But win, lose, or draw, we say that F the Glazers, get out of the FA club. And yeah, Glazers out. Full sale only. Jim the Rat, we'll see what you're doing. All action. You know what I mean? Not all talk at the moment, but we were waiting for the action. Free Palestine, we were there as well. Raise your consciousness, people. What's been done to the Palestinians for the past 75 years? Educate yourselves in the thing. Know that Zionism, a lot of Muslims are Zionists. Yes, they are. Go and check out Dubai, Bahrain, parts of Saudi Arabia, the Zionists, right? You can be atheist and be a Zionist. You can be Jewish and be Zionist. The majority of Zionists in the world are actually Christians, evangelical Christians in the US specifically. So, yeah, fuck Zionism, because Zionism is fascism to me. It's one people over the other. We're not having that. But yeah, look after yourselves. Get in the chat. Talk to me about Manchester United. Everything ran. We're going to try to do a bit more daily content. I'm going to start seeing if I can record some videos for you guys. 10 minutes here and there, maybe reacting to a transfer news on a transfer watch. Check out the new show. We just did a show the other day with Jarvis and Tom. So check that out. And make sure you check out Jarvis Corner tonight, Man UFC, BLS TV, Tom, Jarvis, and a couple of other people. Phil will be on there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I don't know if Stu's making it tonight.
Stuart, not Phil. Stuart. Yeah, Stuart will be on there as well. We'll get Stuart on this channel as well if he can. But big up to everybody. Love and light. Take care. Look after yourselves. Free Palestine. Free the people. Free the land. Free the Congo. Free Sudan. Free Tigray. Free Ogaden. Good night.